shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Just waiting on a few more to come in, and we'll get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you please be upstanding? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Brad Tyler Webber, and my role here today is to help you all celebrate the life of and pay tribute to the late Raymond Anthony Bourne, or Ray as most of you knew him. Ray passed away on the 20th of March, 72 years of age. On behalf of Ray's family, Valerie, Victoria, Christy, and of course the extended family, thank you all so much for your presence here today at the Mackay Chapel. I know the family wish to say a huge thank you, whether you've travelled from near or far to be here this afternoon. Thank you all so much for coming to say your farewells and of course to pay tribute to Ray's life. We are streaming today's service, as I mentioned. If you have joined us online this afternoon, the family would like to say a huge thank you for taking time out of your day and joining us with an online presence. As much as your thoughts and prayers are with us here in the chapel saying goodbye, we're also thinking of you having to say your farewells remotely. And we do have some family who have hopefully joined us today. Shirley, Jackie, Patricia, Tice, Aya and Sem. If you've joined with us, thank you so much. Now, Ray was born on the 6th of October 1950 in Birmingham in the UK. to parents Gwendolyn and Walter Bourne. Now, Ray was one of 4 siblings, sisters Shirley, Jacqueline and brother Alan. I'm going to ask Christy and Vicky to hop up. They're going to continue sharing some thoughts and some memories and some stories from Ray's life.
You right? On behalf of Mum, my sister and I, we'd like to thank you for your support, kind words and love over what has been a very difficult time. Vicky and I have been reflecting on what words we'd use to describe Dad. We decided we'd start with opinionated, followed by stubborn. Dad was also an extremely dedicated and hard-working man, a perfectionist and an immensely proud man. He was proud of what he and Mum have achieved, proud of both of us girls and our partners, Blaine and Tice. He was also extremely proud of his 5 grandsons, Luke, Justin, Mitchell, Aya and Sam, and his great-grandson, Caden Ray. Looking back at Dad's life, he got off to an interesting start. Nan was living in Malta whilst Grandad served in the Navy, and after celebrating a little bit too much one New Year's Eve, she found out she was pregnant. Nan just made it back to England in 1950, where Dad was born, and it's where they stayed. Dad was later joined by Shirley, Alan and Jacqueline, and their family was complete. Dad's sister Shirley describes him as Mum's boy, the first grandson, and spoilt rotten by his aunts and uncles. He adored his granddad Bagley, who he lived with until he was 6 years old. They would spend their time together working in the garden, and is no doubt where Dad developed his love of gardening. He had a few select friends, was very artistic, and received a place at the Dame Elizabeth Cadbury Grammar School. He drew amazing copies of cartoon characters and went by the nickname Skinny Lizzie. Auntie Shirley also describes Dad as someone who always knew what he wanted and would do his own thing. Dad had a local paper round and volunteered at the local animal sanctuary. Auntie Shirley remembers him bringing home a huge German Shepherd which destroyed the kitchen and was sent back immediately. At the age of 16, Dad moved to Druids Heath, where he would meet Mum, who only lived the next house up. They would start seeing each other pretty much straight away. Dad had a motorbike which he loved and would go riding with his best friend then. Mum and Dad would go off on adventures, normally leaving Mum fearing for her life as Dad sped over the humpback bridges and her almost flying over the handlebars. In 1971, Mum and Dad were married in Kings Norton and bought their first home. Mum remembers that Dad always had the desire to leave England and to live somewhere else. As it was normal to immigrate to either Canada or Australia, Dad went to Australia House to make some inquiries. When they responded, "Well, we can send you next week," there was only one small problem. Dad hadn't yet discussed the idea with Mum. He came home with all the paperwork, and 3 months later, in March 1973, they arrived in Australia to start their new life. Whilst living in Sydney, Dad got talking to a man who owned a piece of land in Bateau Bay. Mum and Dad went to visit and decided then and there that they would buy it, allowing Dad to build his first home in Australia. In 1976, Vicky joined the family, with me arriving in 1981. During this time, Dad was working as a carpenter, working on numerous schools across the Central Coast. It was those he worked with who understood his sense of humour, the constant pranks that were played on each other. Most of those stories are not suitable to share with you right now. During his time as a carpenter and a wall and floor tiler, he met some of his best friends. who would remain a huge part of his life, always by his side, even during his final days. It was Dad's skills as a tradesman which saw us move to Jillaby in 1987. With just under 7 acres, Dad was in his element. Our memories of Dad of days always spent in the veggie garden, feeding the hundreds of parrots, and the yelling, screaming profanities that always indicated that something in the garage wasn't going quite as planned. As I'm sure you're most aware, Dad was never blessed with the greatest of patience. To be fair, it was no surprise we moved to Jillaby. We needed to live somewhere bigger to cater for all the animals that Dad always seemed to be bringing home. Dogs, cats, chickens, goats, horses, even at one point a wallaby. All these arrivals continued to test Mum's patience, as it had done his own mother all those years ago. During Dad's life, he had a couple of loves. Mum, of course, being the first and foremost, but Dad absolutely loved his sport. Every weekend was spent watching the footy, supporting the Roosters, or playing golf. It was later that Dad discovered his love of lawn bowls. Each week when I called, I would relive each of his games, which always seemed to focus on the injustices he had experienced. But without a doubt, Dad loved being part of the bowling family, especially when representing the club during competition pennants. In 2014, Dad's world was turned upside down when he was diagnosed with lung cancer. Dad showed us the full force of his determination and exactly how stubborn he actually was when he defied all odds and put his incurable cancer into remission. He was never quite the same, but we were just grateful he was still with us. It was because of this that after more than 30 years, Mum and Dad sold the house in Jillaby and moved to Chain Valley Bay and began their new life in Valhalla. It broke Dad's heart when, due to mobility issues, he had to give up his beloved bowls. It was these same issues that saw Dad leave Valhalla in 2021 and move to the Hakea Grove nursing home. As Dad had always enjoyed the attention from the younger ladies, the nursing home became his new playground for being cheeky and playing up to the girls. Don't get me wrong, he still told them off when he thought they were too noisy, or in his eyes they'd done something wrong. These carers and nurses became an important part of Mum and Dad's life whilst he was there. Dad, right up until you left us, your absolute love for Mum, your Gert, was unquestionable. You always stayed true to yourself, and your passing will leave a massive hole in all our lives. We thank you for everything you have done, and we will miss you terribly. Dad, as we say goodnight to you, as you've said to Vicky and I since the day we were both born, we love you lots and lots, with sugar and spice, and all things nice.
I'd like to read a poem on behalf of my mum, Val. It's called A Silent Tear. Just close your eyes and you will see all the memories that you have of me. Just sit and relax and you will find I'm really still there inside your mind. Don't cry for me now I'm gone, for I am in the land of song. There is no pain and there is no fear. So dry away that silent tear. Don't think of me in the dark and cold, for I am no longer old. I'm in that place that's filled with love, known to you all as up above. Thank you.
Thanks, Christy. Thanks, Vicky. We're going to pause the service now for a few moments. We're going to put some images up on the screens from Ray's life. You've each arrived today carrying your own memories of Ray. You've all shared a moment, a time, a place. What this does now, it's going to give you an opportunity to grab a few more memories, add them to the ones that you've arrived with today, and leave with an even bigger picture of Ray's life. We're going to give the family an opportunity now to come forward and just say a final farewell to Ray this afternoon. We're just going to prepare the casket and get that ready, put a piece of music on, going to ask the family to come forward, take a flower, place it on Ray's casket. It's your chance, guys, to leave a final kiss and say your final farewells today. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can just remain seated and give the family a few moments, that would be great. Thank you.
I wish that heaven were visiting hour, so I could just show up and bring the news that she's getting older. And I wish that you'd met her, things that she'll learn from me, I got them all from you. I just stay a while and we'll put all the world to rights. The little ones will grow and I'll still drink your favorite wine. Soon they're going to close, but I'll see you another day. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven visiting hour, so I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you do in my situation? I haven't a clue how I'd even raise them. What would you do? 'Cause you'd always do what's right. We just took a while until my worries disappeared. I'll tell you that I'm scared of turning out a failure. You say remember that the answer's in the love that we feel. So much has changed since you've been away. Visiting hours, and I would ask them if I could take you home. But I know what they'd say, that it's for the best. So I will live life the way you taught me and make it on my own. Well, I will close the door and I will open up my heart. Everyone I love will know exactly who you are. 'Cause this is not goodbye, it is just you and me again. So much has changed since you've been away.
It's now time for us to commit Ray's physical body to the elements. Before we do that, however, let us each be thankful and grateful for Ray's life. I'm going to ask each of you to pause and remember the impact that Ray's life has had on your own. You'll each remember Ray's life by the memories that he leaves behind. Now, those of us who feel deeply may grieve deeply. No philosophy or religion ever taught to us can prevent that natural reaction from the human heart. We come into this world with nothing, and we depart with nothing. However, it's those memories we leave behind, with family and with friends, they're a mark of our life success. I'm sure you'll each agree that Ray was a very successful man. Ray, as you watch over those you loved, I know that when they listen to the ocean, it'll be your whispers they hear. When a cool breeze caresses their cheeks, it'll be your spirit passing by. You are not gone from us. You'll be watching over your family and guiding them towards the future. Today is actually not goodbye. Today is thank you. Thank you for touching our lives, giving us joy. We thank you for the memories we will cherish forever. We thank you for the good times and for your loyalty to family and friends. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your laughter. Your life we honour. Your departure we accept. Your memories we will cherish. Ray, in grief at your death, but gratitude for your life and for the privilege of sharing it with you, we now tenderly and reverently commit your body for cremation. As your spirit and soul rise from your earthly being, know that your family and your friends are here to say farewell. Earth to earth, dust to dust. We bid you peace, we bid you farewell. Today you've all come together to say farewell to the Ray you know. You now greet the Ray who will live on in your thoughts and your memories. Please rejoice in the happy memories of Ray's life. We are grateful that he's lived, grateful that we've seen his face, heard his voice, felt the touch of his hand, shared his love and shared his friendship. Ladies and gentlemen, once again this afternoon on behalf of Valerie and all the family, thank you so much again for your presence here today in the chapel. If you've joined us online today, again, a huge thank you for joining with us. I know the family would like to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you for the love and friendship you've shown Ray throughout his lifetime. When today's service concludes, the family is going to be heading over to Wyong Bowling Club. They'd love you all to join them. Share a cup of tea, a bite to eat, perhaps raise a glass or two in honour of Ray's life. Most importantly though, as I mentioned earlier, you've each arrived today carrying your own memories of Ray. You've all shared a moment. He's off to the club. I said beer and he ran. You've all shared a moment, a time and a place with Ray. You're all carrying stories, you're all carrying memories. There's a fair chance that a few of you might have arrived today carrying a story or two that perhaps most in this room haven't heard before. Your job this afternoon when you get together at the club is to find someone who hasn't heard the story that you're carrying. You have to share it with them. The more stories that we share, the more memories that we share, the more that Ray will live on. In your thoughts, your memories, most importantly in your hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, once again this afternoon, thank you all so very much. Now I must introduce this last piece of music. Valerie has asked me to let you all know that this was Ray's favourite song. Please do not read into the lyrics. It was just one of his favourites.
Oh, you're gonna take me home tonight. Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you're gonna let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Hey, I was just a skinny lad, never knew no good from bad, but I knew life before I left my nursery. Left alone with big fat fatty, she was such a naughty natty. You big woman, you made a bad boy out of me. Hey, hey, I've been singing with my band, across the wire, across the lake. I've seen every blue-eyed floozy on the way. Hey, got their beauty and their style, we're kinda smooth after a while. Take me to them dirty ladies every time. Come on. Oh, won't you take me home tonight? Oh, down beside your rockin' world go round. Hey, I was just a skinny lad, never knew no good from bad, but I knew life before I left my nursery. Left alone with big fat fatty, she was such a naughty natty. Hey, big woman, you made a bad boy out of me. Hey, hey, I've been singing with my band, across the water, across the lake. I've seen every blue-eyed floozy on the way. Hey, but their beauty and their style were kind of smooth after a while. Take me to them dirty ladies every time. Come on! Oh, won't you take me home tonight? Oh, down beside your red firelight. Oh, when you give it all you got, fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Hey, listen here! Now, your mortgages and hopes, I got stiffness in the bones. Ain't no beauty queens in this locality. I tell you, oh, but I still get my pleasure, still got my greatest treasure. You big woman, you done made a big man of me. Now get this. Oh, I know you gonna take me home tonight. Please. Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you gonna let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Get on your bikes, ride!